I am here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Hi.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. I was like,
Hi.
oh my God, there's no internet. All right. I am so sorry. Welcome today.
Hello.
I am here today. My name is Sarah Forleo, the owner of the Whole Pet Grooming Academy today. And I'm sorry I had that run in. I'm in a new house ripping up carpet in the living room, and I thought they unplugged the internet on me. So my internet is not quite good and stabilized yet. So I'm hoping it'll stay for us today. So I am here today with Lory Belanger. And for those, there's probably a lot of you out there that know Lory or of her in the New England region. But she is our general manager and also the lead instructor on the floor in the Portsmouth location. And Lory is taking the education to definitely a new level. She has brought she's raised the bar higher than I could have expected, actually, with everything going on and going through COVID and starting through COVID and everything that's been the talk of the nation. So
Right.
tell us, I mean, you are a a busy woman,
Oh,
and
yes.
taking on not only managing the shop and teaching and picking up the Pet Pro educators now, you're also have a hour commute and two little girls, both under
Yes.
the age of
Four.
5? Under
Four.
the age of
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've got a lot on your plate. Um, Tell us first, if for those that don't know you, how you got into the industry and what drives you.
Of course. Actually, we were just speaking about this last night, my husband and I. Um, so, oddly enough, my parents don't really like dogs or animals. And my friend gifted me a dog when I was in third grade. And my dad told me, if I want to keep this animal, I need to groom it. He's not paying for grooming. So I had one Andis blade and one Andis clipper, and I had to groom my dog. That's how I started getting into the grooming industry. And I
What
used
kind
to,
of dog was it?
it was a corgi, golden retriever. It was a bunch of mix, but it
Wow,
was,
so it's a
yeah, a
Heinz
dog that should,
57 grade.
right, right. And it shouldn't have been shaved, but I give it a lion cut, and I thought I invented the lion cut. So fast forward to when I was 17, when I just before I graduated, I was gifted money to buy a brand new car, and instead I bought a horse, and so I had to
A
get a
girl wouldn't.
job, right? So I had to get a job, and my friend's like, "Hey, my employer's hiring a bather. Would you like to work as a bather?" And I'm like, "Sure, no big deal." And then a month later, they sent me to grooming school, and here I am today.
So what's the passion with the industry?
So my passion, I'm obsessed with education. I love learning. When I was in school, I actually was studying to be a teacher. Oddly enough, and I realized I didn't want to pursue teaching career in the kids industry. And when I went to grooming, I fell just in love with the instant gratification of making an animal not only feel good but look good as well, and the way the parents felt and how they valued you made me feel very
Hmm.
exciting, and I want to learn more about it and how can I make this easy for not only the pet parents but the pet itself. My personal
Hmm.
dog was actually kicked out of 4 grooming salons before I became a groomer, and I learned the behavior side and how to work with dogs who are very nervous, and that's something that I like to achieve in making everyone calm, collected, and cooperative, as Kirsty would say. And that drives me.
Say that again.
Calm, collected, and cooperative.
Calm, collected, and cooperative.
I
Very good.
believe that's what Kirsty says. Don't completely quote me, but I try to follow that as much as I can. But it
Yeah.
drives me. I love learning. I love working with people, the neurodiverse mind, and how to teach and become a better teacher and show my passion to others.
That's so we kind of, I don't know, you and I go back quite a
16?
bit.
Yeah,
Back to, has it been that long?
2007, yes.
Man,
It's when I first met you.
2007. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, quite a bit. I mean, now
Yep.
professionally wise, we kind of haven't been on the same level and reconnected just recently over the last couple of years because
Yep.
of the Pet Pro educators.
Yes. Yes.
Um, and that you started following that. And it's funny that that reconnected us. So I think I kind of reached out to you and was like, how do you feel about teaching?
Yes,
Has
you
it,
did.
was it like, did you think you wanted to do that? Or, because not everybody wants to teach. A lot of people just love the grooming side of it.
Right.
So it's really hard to find people who do the teaching part, which is difficult.
Right, right. You work with a lot of different personalities. Oddly enough, when you reached out to me, I was having a conversation about how I wanted to end, like how I want to get involved in the teaching career. And I can't even joke to you, the second that went through my mouth, you messaged me saying, "Hey, how would you feel about teaching? Would you be interested?" And I feel like everything was aligned in the right way for for me to get into the
The
teaching. I
stars
didn't
aligned.
realize it's a lot harder than I thought. Um, Extremely hard when it comes to just working with the different personality of people. However, when you finally break through with teaching and they get that aha moment, it's very rewarding. I couldn't wish for a better way of passing my knowledge than teaching.
And they get that
Mm.
aha moment. What, when you say
Uh,
that, what, describe that?
so the I as the way I describe the aha moments in a depending on what they're having difficulties in, say for instance, scissoring scissoring a column leg, and they're just not quite getting that beveled foot how they want it, and then all of a sudden it's like something in their brain switches and they're like, oh, okay, I get it now. And then all of a sudden they just, it's like second nature, they can figure it out on their own, and they just, it clicks in a way that gives them such satisfaction, and like, oh yeah, okay, I can do this, this is something that I can get into, that
Mhm.
worries left behind that you can't do it.
Interesting. It is,
Yeah.
you can see that. So what, and everybody has a different aha moment. So sometimes,
Yes.
we
Yes.
all pick up something differently
Right.
and everything just, so for some, whatever's the hardest to accomplish. What do you think is the hardest so far teaching on the floor, that you've, and doing this? Yeah. So what's the hardest part of that?
Let's see. Are you saying what's the hardest of trying to
When teaching on the floor.
okay, when teaching on the
The
floor?
hardest thing, the hardest part of that teaching moment.
So the hardest part, I would say, it's not necessarily difficult. It's more so getting the mind back to the basics. Is when we first when I first have a student, they're so excited to learn how to be a groomer and give haircuts, but they don't realize the foundation is the most important thing, which is the bath and getting that coat clean properly, looking at the skin coat and trying to get somebody focused and realizing that the bath is the main important part of getting your dog groomed in order to accomplish a good haircut. It all falls back on the bath. And so trying to get everyone back into realizing, oh no, it seems like you're just bathing a lot, but you're actually building a technique to making sure these dogs are well prepped in order to give a haircut. So
Mhm,
a lot of the times it's the people who are looking for, well, I just want to give a haircut. When can I start that? It's like you can, but we have to make sure you know the basics of the bath and getting the coat clean. Then we can move on. I think that's where a lot of people feel like I've just been bathing for so long. I've already got it down. It's like not quite yet, but you will get there. That's the
mhm.
hardest part to introduce and to give the patience before going into a haircut, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is. You're kind of going from building your ABCs.
Hmm.
You
Right, right.
can't. until you know your ABCs, you can't put words together and
Right.
read. So you got to have that foundation. So I don't know who it is, and I'm sorry, but we have a Facebook user that says good job because she would love to get away from the table and teach. Where are you?
Yeah. Where are you located?
Where are you
What is your
located?
name? You can
Reach
email
out
me.
to us. We can help.
Mhm.
Baths matter. Yes, baths do matter. And I think
Yes.
personally, I'm you know me, I'm a big blow dryer. So
Oh, yes.
I like the undercoat and making sure that is removed properly
Right,
and
right.
that. So what where do you find your inspiration for all this?
Let's see.
What
My
keeps you going day by day? And I know with having an hour commute, and the little kids, where's your inspiration coming from to keep
s-
you driving forward now?
to be honest, what drives me is success, I guess. What is the next step to succeed? What is the next accomplishment? How can I move what we have now and bring it to another level, and kind of building that and kind of just working towards a new goal and always revamping my goals? That's what really drives me. The
Mhm.
success portion of it is what I absolutely love. And being and trying to just always be well known and well educated. And the next step is, where can I learn? What can I learn more? How can I improve these dogs? And how can I improve the teaching? It's just, I guess it's the educational side for myself as well. Even though I'm an instructor, I like to add to my knowledge and keep getting the gratification of learning something new.
You have to. I mean,
Yeah,
bringing something new to the table too is you've got to be on the next level above what you're teaching.
right, right.
So, and you keep raising that bar, so you gotta keep it stepping up.
Right, right. I actually reached out to a few other people to make sure they can sit and critique me while I'm grooming, so I can make sure I even bring that bar even higher.
Yeah, see, this is why you gotta have the right people in place to
Yes,
do the job.
yes,
I
yes.
couldn't be happier. Sorry, baby. All right, very good. Okay, I have a very needy chihuahua here. She is crazy today with everything going on. So, how does this influence you? Did I
The
already ask you
educate,
that? The education? Yeah. I
yeah, the
already said
education.
I'm
Yes,
losing my mind here.
it's
Sorry.
okay. You're just
Okay.
new home.
Yeah, I know, right? So, how about for future people, maybe future younger pet stylists coming into it that, people get stuck? What's some
Mhm.
advice you would give to keep them motivated?
So the one thing I would say is, look into your workplace. If you like grooming, but all of a sudden you feel like you're unhappy and maybe you're in the wrong career, see the environment and the management around you, and know that you can't be stuck no matter how good the money is, no matter, you know, all the clientele starting new somewhere. It's okay. And if you're unhappy, stop what you're doing and go somewhere else, or start your own place. Don't get stuck in a place that you're unhappy and you're questioning, because then your grooming starts going down. I was stuck for a long time in a place, and when I realized, oh wait, I can go, so I can, I can start new, and it was nerve wracking, but it was great. I wouldn't be here now had I not stopped what I was doing, because I almost thought that I maybe grooming wasn't for me, but I didn't realize it was where I was located, not that grooming wasn't for me. I would say pay attention to your surroundings. That really will affect your drive.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've got to find your home.
Yes, you have to
Home,
find
you
your
have
home.
to and mix, and when you do, it all, like you said, it all just clicks.
Right, right. It's
So
important.
it's important. Yeah. So
Yeah.
how rewarding is this to your life?
Um, Actually, it's really rewarding. It's taking me to a different level of, not only mentally but physical growth. I'm looking. I'm becoming a speaker and trying to write these classes to be a speaker in a groom expos, and it's something that I never would have thought I'd be able to do. Me being extremely shy, I grew up very shy, anxiety ridden. I couldn't even say hello to you if you passed down the street, to being a speaker, and an educator for not just a small shop with students, but just, kind of not worldwide, but, in an expo per se. It's amazing, the goals and the challenges that it's made me kind of grow, to a point where I feel like I have no limits. The limit is the sky. And it's a good feeling to have that. It's very rewarding.
Hmm. Keep going. You got more to
Okay.
say. I can see
Yeah.
it.
Well, I'm just trying to think here. One of the biggest things that, I can't stress enough, and feel free to reach out, is when you have, and it's a little off topic, but when you have anxiety, there's other people out there that can help you grow into becoming the person that you need to be when it comes to grooming, because grooming can be very, working with the animals might be fantastic, but you also have the human side to it, the connection that you need to take. And, once you make that connection, and just kind of let go of that chip on your shoulder, that's where the real growth starts. you know
Hmm.
that's where everything starts flourishing.
Who have been some of your big mentors that have continued you down this path?
Let's So I can say, I actually started right around the same time I started going through the Pet Pro educators, is what introduced me to Jen and Michelle. Also, to be honest, you three ladies were the start of my educational side, and like, wow, I need to be really more involved. Look at where they're bringing it to. And, there's a woman off of Trumbull, Connecticut, Jessica Adorno. I started watching her videos and her positive output in life. And I was kind of stuck in COVID. I was in Maine and I was shut down for a while. And, having the Pet Pro educators, and having, um, Jess Adorno, watching her videos, and taking a lot of the, I took advantage and took a lot of live classes while I was shut down. That kind of rekindled my education side of the grooming industry. So I can say, because of COVID, is what really rekindled the education side for me. Because
Interesting.
had I not been shut down, I wouldn't have been on Facebook. I wouldn't have found Pet Pros educators. I wouldn't have found Jessica Adorno. I wouldn't have found, all these live streaming education side, because I was so
Wow.
wrapped up in being busy. I was pregnant. I had my little one who was 2 or 3 at the time. We just moved to a new house, and that shutdown is what really made me decide I want to take my education and the grooming industry to a next level. And how do I do that?
That is, I mean, I've never heard that side of it, and we did start the educators during in the height of COVID because
Yeah,
of that. Everything was going online, and it was a way to keep us active. But you don't. I, I think of all the stories I've heard coming out of our industry about it, none so positive. Like, to say, I embraced this shutdown, there's no money coming in,
right.
and instead of going, "No, I can't afford to do it," you just jumped in and did it.
Oh, I definitely did. You know, one of the things that I can say that my dad always taught me was, don't stress about money. It'll come if you're a hard worker. And when I was having no income because of the
Mhm.
shutdown, and I saw the opportunity to take these classes and learn from people around the world that I would never been able to afford. It's, you're talking about seminars that naturally cost anywhere from 6 to 1,000, because of travel, hotel, and everything, cost only 100 to 200. And for me, I'm like, well, I don't have any income, but when will I have an opportunity like this?
Mhm.
So I went and grabbed it.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was one of those things. I'm like, I kind of had to rebudget and figure out, okay, well, I'm not gonna do this spending, because this is where I want to go. This is how I'm going to move up in my education.
Mhm. That's incredible.
Yeah.
You've done a lot. I mean, this has been 2 years with me at the
Yeah.
shop, part-time to start. So
Right.
if Lori's journey with me started, 1 day a week to 2 days a week to
Yes.
3
Yeah.
days a week to full time over the
Yeah.
course of a year,
Yes.
and, um, I was like, I wanna do that bad that I was like, "Yeah, whatever you want.
Right.
Take all the time you need."
Right. Right.
I can wait. We can wait. We got this. And
Yeah.
it really everything worked out. You are going through so of all of our I'm going to ask this cuz you're a little different from the other instructors being on the floor full time and doing so you're doing their online courses as well. Um what do you feel how is that helping on the floor for knowing and being able to talk to the students? What's your favorite? I can ask
Like my
that. You can
my
have a
favorite
favorite, your favorite
my
class.
favorite online class.
Mhm.
Oh gosh, that's a hard one because every time
I
I do
know.
something new, I'm like, oh my god, I like that one.
Yeah.
Um,
And I don't think you've
two,
taken everybody. So of the
I
ones you've
haven't.
okay, so that's
I
true.
haven't.
So
So
that's really not a fair question. We'll ask that
yeah,
next
I was gonna say, let me take a couple more, but I can tell you, I mean, I've taken Angie's,
year.
I'm in the process of taking Chrissy, I'm in the process of taking Michelle's. That's it. That's all I have, right? Um, but I don't think I can pick a favorite. I absolutely love each and one of them for what they're teaching. The sanitation brought me to a whole different level. I'm sure you watch me coming in at 7 a.m. and I'm like, clean. And then
Yeah.
Chrissy's behavior, the canine behavior class, has enlightened me in so many different ways. Not only are there things that I've already done, but she's able to put like a label on why it works successfully
Mm.
to the point where it brings it to my attention. It's like, oh, okay, this is why it works. So this is how I can make sure I can do this to every dog. It's pretty amazing. That class is something that I really do recommend. I absolutely love it. And then Michelle's class, for the obvious reasons of learning this skin and coat in and out. I mean, I don't think I can pick a favorite.
Yeah. So
I
and keep
truly
going because
value it.
you're doing great with saying the bits and pieces. So from Michelle's class, what have you gained from that so far that's being introduced?
So let's see,
Obviously you're doing a lot more than I am. I'm behind the curtain here taking care of
which is
business, so to speak. You guys are like
yeah, I
crushing
have
it.
my nose in the book all day long, as you will. Let's see, with Michelle's class, one of the I would say the way what the biggest part of Michelle's class is the I don't even know because I like a lot of it. I've known the hardest thing I could say is the terminology. So I'm not as great with the terminology yet, but learning the differences of the oils in the dog skin and coat. It sounds so basic, you know, but knowing that short hair dogs need 30% more oil, than a longer coat, and learning the difference into providing that shine and the strength that that coat needs to thrive is pretty amazing. I've learned different techniques as paying attention to the hair follicles. Something that I used
Mhm.
to love doing is clipping long hair dogs or wide hair dogs in reverse to make the coat look nice and neat, until I learned that it actually damages the hair follicle and it weakens the muscle, which kind of leads down to a whole other,
More
yeah,
problems.
more
Yeah.
problems. And once I realized that, and that was the biggest change that I have done. And since I've changed that way of grooming, I've noticed the dog skin and coat has been amazing, since I've stopped doing that. Also, with Michelle's terminology and learning how to read the ingredients deck is probably one of the biggest things. I still don't know all of the terminology yet, but I can look at a shampoo bottle and say, oh, this is great product because of X, Y, and Z, versus, oh, this is is just all propaganda. It just looks all pretty, but at the end, the ingredients does nothing except for has a harsh surfactant, and it just dries the crap out of the dog's coat. Excuse me.
Mhm.
I would say Michelle's class, learning the ingredients and how to read a shampoo bottle, knowing that is your shampoo and product truly good for the dog's skin and coat. And one of the tests that she would always say is your hands. What does your
Your
hands do at the
hands.
end of the
Yep.
day? I can tell
Yep.
you since then, and being involved with you, you guys are very well educated in what shampoo and product lines are great. I haven't had dry hands, which in my whole grooming career, my hands were always cracking and drying. Not once have I had in the last 2 years,
Yeah,
which is
we
quite
we do.
amazing.
Well, and I don't mind. You gotta. It really does show on the pets that the quality of the shampoo that we're using, or
Yes,
that
yes,
anybody in general uses.
right,
So,
right.
yeah, and Kim, we've got a lot of chat today. Kim said that it's amazing and keep growing this amazing industry. It is.
Thank
Um,
you, thank you.
it is such a value it is such valuable information for us. I love that, and I can educate my clients about proper techniques and products.
Yes,
Yep, the
yes,
clients trust us to be the eye and hands deep down where no one else sees. Yeah, it is
right.
true. I mean, that's they do. Well, we're coming up to about a half hour, so let's see. Where do you see yourself going with this? What do you think is next? I know you talked about wanting to speak, so we're working
Yeah,
on that, and I'm thinking,
yeah. I would say
yep,
my goal after I get the school and the salon situated, my goal is to be a speaker and
mhm,
to travel and help bring more education to people in a little bit of more affordable way, if possible. I'm trying to figure that out too for some people who can't go to things just because of financing. That's what held me back for years, and my goal is to travel and educate as much as possible. That's what I would love ideally to do. And then my little side passion is I want to get back in competing, but that's just pleasure.
dog
Yeah,
competing,
yeah,
yeah,
competing with
grooming,
dogs. Yeah,
actually,
grooming
yeah,
competition.
grooming
But that's a
competition.
side pleasure. My goal for the industry in the school is being a speaker. Is something that I would really truly love to value.
Mhm. We got to put something together. It's
Yes.
time. It is time. It is time. Now that I'm settling, I got
Hmm.
this month coming up. Oh, I've got so much computer work to get caught back up
Gosh.
on,
Yeah.
and you should see. So, you've taken a lot taken and just working with me, and you and I, doing on the side and stuff. And so I was thrilled last night when I saw you. You sent me the picture of your goal board
Oh yeah.
at work
Yes.
on your near
Yes.
your desk, and I was just like, ah, yay, oh my gosh, I love my boards and
Oh my gosh, it's
um
something that I really needed.
my
I didn't realize.
structures and my
Hmm.
planners, and I mean, I live day by day through those.
Yes. Yeah, and I have some things that I have so many things that I want to do, and it wasn't until the summit, the neurodiverse summit, that
Yep. Yeah,
Mary.
you took that from, yeah,
Yeah,
I paid. Yep.
yeah.
This,
So that's what made me realize I really have to write it down in front of me, or I'm not going to be able to accomplish it because there's so much that I want to do, and it was
yeah,
the
and
best.
well, and it keeps you on track.
Yes, yes.
It
Everyone, get
keeps
a
you on
vision
track.
board.
Mm. Yes, vision boards. Oh my, mine are. I have been without mine since November, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, when I wrote it down,
I
it's
need.
just like a
I
big,
like structure.
yes, it's a big sigh of relief.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Kim, I don't know if you can see what Kim said, but she said,
No,
"This
I
is
can't
the
see
first time
anything.
hearing you." And she said, "You are very eloquent and easy to listen to." And
Oh,
that she said,
thank
"Listen,
you.
you're speaking." So that's great.
Oh,
And
thank you.
Alyssa, hi, Alyssa. Thanks for joining us.
Oh,
She
hello, Alyssa.
said that she has enjoyed learning from you. And thanks for raising the bar in the industry. And she is very grateful as one of our graduates.
Yes, she is
So
doing phenomenal.
she is doing phenomenal. Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
Alyssa, we love you.
Yeah, your scissor work. Ah, I get so excited.
Yeah. So, well, any parting words? Anything you want to say to everyone
um,
watching?
I would
Where to
say
find you?
Yeah, you can
Come learn
find
from
me
you.
at oh, absolutely. I'll take the phone calls, emails, text. You can find me at Lory Lory at wholepetnh.com. Feel free to email me. I do have two kids, so sometimes it takes a day or two to get back to your emails. But other than that, feel free to contact me for anything. If you're feeling stuck, that's my parting word. Don't feel stuck. If you're feeling stuck, reach out to a fellow coworker or a mentor. Get one if you don't have one,
Get
and
a mentor,
yeah, get a
somebody you
mentor.
can talk to.
Yes, that's a non-biased
Yeah.
person. So if you can find a mentor, I mean, I reached out randomly to someone online who was doing lives, and that's how I started getting a mentor. And get one and unstuck yourself, and
Hmm.
that's how you'll be able to grow.
Yeah. Don't be stuck in the sand in
Yes,
the quicksand.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Well, very good. Well, I appreciate you joining me on a Sunday
Thank you.
away from
Thank
your
you.
family because we
Yes.
don't have any time to do this
Yeah.
during the week with
I
you.
know. I know.
So, all right. Well, Lori, thank you so much. It is a pleasure working
Absolutely.
with you every day,
Oh,
and
thank you
I
as
appreciate you
well.
being on. You make the Academy what it is right now. So, I couldn't
But it's
be
all
happy.
because of the foundation that I was brought into this. If it wasn't for that foundation, so I would say thank
I
you as
did
well.
something right.
You
I
laid
got
that
that foundation.
foundation.
I laid that concrete
Holy,
foundation and pulled in
oh
everyone that
man.
needs to be there.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Which is
No.
great. Yeah. So thank
Yeah.
you as well for doing all of this.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. If anybody would like to reach out, we'd love to hear from you. We've got some great classes, and this week coming up, you got to meet Lori on. Oh, let me go back to my flip back here. I couldn't believe I thought I was going to not be able to find my notebook here. Okay, so on February 22nd, Katie Heckela will be on with
Yes.
me. And following her this week will be Mindy on the 24th, Mindy Dinwiddie. And last but not least, Michelle Knowles on Sunday, the 27th, to wrap up our instructor interview series. So 3 more to go. And I think next month I'm going to turn this into student interviews.
Oh,
Well, I'm on
yes.
a roll, so we just keep
Yes.
these little things going. So
Absolutely.
if any of our graduates are out there listening and would like to be interviewed, please let us know. Let me know. Let Lori know.
Hmm.
Reach out to us because I'd love to get some perspective. I know there are a few I'm going to be reaching out to that I want to talk to and revisit. So that is it for today. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We will see you tomorrow evening for the Pet Pro Educators, where
Yes.
tomorrow evening and the following week, we do have two guests joining us. Scott Lorenz with
Lawrence.
yeah, is going to be joining us tomorrow evening. We have been playing with the Supercoats line, and
Yes.
we are very thrilled with working with that. So we're going to have Scott on to talk about the Supercoats line, and if you don't know that, stay tuned. And the following week, we will have Dave Campanella on talking silicones. So
Yes.
good
Two
up
great
and coming.
speakers.
Yeah,
Yes.
too.
Yes.
So have a great day, and we will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Have a good
Thank you
night.
so much. Have a good night.